Van Deeb, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van Deeb.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Van Deeb podcast. I'm so grateful that you're spending time with me today. You know, time is all we have to give others, and so I like to spend my time wisely, and I'm glad you're spending time with me today. You know, I believe disciplined workers get there faster. Discipline, to me, is everything in life, in business, in our personal lives, everything. I've always felt really blessed to have been born into a wonderful family. Just, my family was all about love. Most of my relatives are teachers and preachers. My mother was one of 9 siblings, and every one of them was talented in some way. So I am the youngest of 5, and I entered this wonderful world a lot later than my siblings did. So I think some people would call that a mistake, but or people correct me and say, no, Van, you were a pleasant surprise. So we'll go with that. I've always marched to the beat of a different drummer from the very beginning. I've always been non-conforming, been kind of rebellious. Unlike my siblings, they were more straight and narrow than I was. I also had a difficult time focusing. If ADHD wasn't diagnosed back then, I'm sure I would have been a poster child. I'm confident that they would have said, Van Deeb, you're a poster child for ADHD. But, you know, back in my day, I don't even think they knew what that was. So in spite of all the differences, I did have one thing in common with everybody else in my family, and that was, and still is, a strong work ethic. I learned early in life that being disciplined is a key factor in achieving success. Discipline, to me, is the ability to maintain focus and consistency in our actions, especially when our motivation goes away and we start losing interest. We can slack a little bit, which happens to all of us from time to time. It happens to me. Disciplined workers don't just clock in and out. They invest time improving their skills, managing their tasks, and cultivating productive habits. I began selling real estate in 1983 and started doing motivational speaking in 1995. In both of these careers, I attribute every bit of success I have achieved to being disciplined. I probably had to work a little harder than most because I didn't have the background of being in business. I didn't grow up with people in business. So I had to figure things out a little bit more, and I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have somebody to go to and say, hey, what would you do? Jim Rohn, who you've heard me give quotes from him throughout my years and years of doing podcasting. Jim Rohn is a great motivational speaker. And I really like how he defines discipline. He says discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments, which is what I preach. You have a set of goals, and in order to accomplish them, you have to make a plan, and you have to be disciplined to see that plan through. So here's some of the skills that disciplined people have in common. One is disciplined people set goals. Not only do they set goals, they define their objectives clearly. They break their goals into manageable tasks, figuring out exactly what they need to accomplish each day. Setting goals setting goals is still very important to me today. I preach it whenever I'm doing motivational speaking. We have to have goals, no matter how high they are, or maybe they're just minor. That's something that you can accomplish in a week. But we have to have goals. That gives us a track to run on. Another commonality in disciplined people is time management. Disciplined people prioritize their time effectively, balancing urgent tasks with important long-term projects so they can see immediate results as well as future growth. I'm constantly working on getting better at managing my time. It's a journey for me, man. It is a work in progress. I don't have it down yet. I'm still trying to learn how to manage my time. Deciding what is time well spent and time wasted is just a continuance of a journey for me. Another commonality that disciplined people have is consistency. Disciplined people show up every day. They work hard and they refine their methods. If your efforts are inconsistent, you're not going to get to where you want to go. Every day you've got to move the needle forward in some form or fashion. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care what you feel like the next day. There's something you can do to move the needle forward, even if it takes 10 minutes. And finally, one of the other commonalities that I've noticed that disciplined people have is resilience. When things don't work out the first time, disciplined people bounce back with renewed determination. Instead of giving up, we analyze what went wrong, adjust our strategies, and we continue moving forward. I want to give you an example. This is really important because we can get down and out. Successful people and people that want to be more than average in life, we can get burnout, we can have bad days, but we have to bounce back and we have to learn what went wrong in order to get better. When I would go on a listing appointment and the couple or whoever the sellers would say, hey, we're going to make a decision on Thursday. We're going to pick between you and two other people. So they interviewed 3 people to sell their house. So I call them up on Thursday. Hey, Van Deeb here. We're going to pick somebody today, your realtor. And if somebody said, we're going to go with Julie with ABC Realty, of course, I'm always going to say, Julie will do an incredible job for you. However, I had planned on getting your house sold. It was one of my goals for this year. It was really important to me to do business with you. I pictured myself being your realtor for life. I've got a pad and a pen in front of me. Can you give me some tips on what I did wrong that you did not choose me to be your agent? And ladies and gentlemen, obviously nobody does this. I do because I want to know what not to do wrong the next time. Obviously, you're hearing my voice is a little hoarse. I had a big speech last night, and so my voice may sound a little different today, but I promise you it's not AI, it's me, Van Deeb. So anyway, I wanted feedback. What did I do wrong? And you could tell they would just pause and go, well, gosh, Van, you did nothing wrong. Julie told me that she could get $50,000 more than you did. Well, now they just opened the door. Now they gave me an opportunity to come back and say, gosh, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we use the same market data. And the market data suggests your house should be listed at this. So I'm one of these that's extremely honest with you. I don't want to put a sign in your yard and then 2 weeks later call you and tell you we're $50,000 overpriced. So you get my point. I'm asking, what did I do wrong? What I could have done for people that just want to be average, I could have said, when they said we're going to use Julie, I could say, okay, thanks a lot. Have a good day. No, I want to find out what I did wrong so I don't make that mistake again. And I want to tell you something. Almost 40% of the time, I get another appointment with them and I get a chance to go and try to get their listing. So that's what resilient people do. And that's what discipline is. To me, success is determined by discipline and perseverance. We have to keep moving. I believe with all my heart that if we are disciplined and we don't give up and we create an unstoppable work ethic, there's literally nothing we can't accomplish. Think about it. If you're disciplined and you create a discipline, eventually that will turn into a habit, and then eventually it's going to become natural to you. No difference in brushing your teeth. You started out in life brushing your teeth, became a discipline before you know it, but it was a habit and it's natural. Really no difference. I really believe that there's nothing we can't accomplish while we're here on this earth. We all have the ability to work hard, create a good work ethic, and make it happen. One of my biggest assets, one of my gifts from God, one of my few gifts is my ability to help people believe in themselves to the point where they realize they can accomplish anything they decide to do. That's why if you ever get an opportunity to have me come speak to your company or even a Zoom call or a Microsoft Teams or whatever your format is, I would love to share what I know with you and help you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. It can be small groups or large groups. I will accommodate whatever's best for you. Becoming disciplined, remember, it's a journey. You're not going to get there overnight. So I want to give you just a few strategies that can help you develop this essential trait of being disciplined. One is, I'm just going to give you 3 for now. One is create a routine. Establish a daily schedule that prioritizes your most important tasks. In other words, make a to-do list every day. I may do it the night before, just a to-do list of what I expect of myself the next day. It takes minutes. It'll all come to you. Number 2, minimize distractions. By the way, I want to back up to creating a routine. When you make that to-do list, it gives you a track to run on. It gives you a visual picture of what you want to do that day. Okay. Number 2, minimize distractions. Identify your biggest distractions and take proactive steps to reduce them. Spend time with people who have a similar positive outlook. Once again, Jim Rohn, as he says, and I quote this, I can't tell you how many years I've quoted this, we are the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. Notice I didn't tell you to go out and spend time with 5 millionaires. If you want to be a millionaire, that sure wouldn't hurt, might rub off on you. But if you spend time with 5 people that have rotten attitudes, you're going to be the 6th. If you spend time with 5 people that are not respectful to others, guess what? You're going to be the 6th because it will rub off on you. If you spend time with really positive people that want more out of life, man, you will be the 6th. And it goes on and on and on. Spend time with people that are like-minded. I'm not saying spend time with people that are financially successful only. I have several friends that are not financially successful, but they're good human beings and they're positive and they're not negative or complainers. I like being around them. The third one is set boundaries. Learn to say no to commitments that do not align with your goals. This is my number one issue, is learning to say no. I have a real issue saying no to people because people want to bend my ear. Hey, Van, I want to take you to lunch and bounce some things off you. I want to talk to you. I want to take you to coffee. If I did that, I'd literally be busy 10 hours a day just doing that. So I have to really manage my time and set boundaries. I've got to learn to say no to commitments that don't align with my goals. If I don't, who's going to do it for me? No one. So just kind of sum it up. Discipline is not just a skill. It's a lifestyle that paves the way for our success. I promise you, if you embrace discipline today, you will be on a faster track to achieving your dreams. That is why I can confidently tell you that disciplined workers get there faster. And remember, we all have the God-given ability to become more disciplined. And I'm not kidding you. I would be thrilled to come to your workplace, wherever you're at in the world, and help you build a positive work culture with an unstoppable, disciplined mindset. Trust me, it works. It worked for my company with 400 people. We had a great culture. We have a great culture. And people are disciplined that want to be successful. I've got the roadmap for you. I'll make it easy on you. Take advantage of my knowledge and my skill set. I want to be there for you. I'll help you increase your productivity. I'll help you increase your market share. Discipline, I'm telling you, that's one of the most important areas in being successful. I am super grateful that you spent some time with me today. Remember, you can reach out to me anytime. My email is van@vandeeb.com. My website is vandeeb.com. I'd love it if you signed up for my monthly newsletter. Subscribe to this podcast. You know, most of all, people are hurting right now. A lot of people don't have good attitudes. If you know somebody that could use some of this positivity, please forward them this podcast. Subscribe and forward this podcast to people. I think they'll be grateful that you did. Speaking of grateful, I'm super grateful that you spent your valuable time with me today. I hope you have a great one. Thank you.
A Huda Media Production.